So in my previous videos, I was talking about equations and what happens when things are equal to each other. Today, we're going to be talking about inequalities, where a situation can occur where something is not equal to something else. And more specifically, you could have less than or greater than. So the symbols that we're going to use today are the less than symbol. Let's say x is less than 8. You're going to see the symbol that's going to point to the variable. And this is going to be a less than. X is less than 8. And when we have a less than, when we graph, we use an open circle on a number line. So we're going to use an open circle for the less than. The next one that we're going to talk about is greater than. Greater than is going to be similar to the less than, but it's going to point to the number. So let's say x is greater than 3. This means that x is a number that's bigger than 3. So this symbol is the greater than. When we have a greater than symbol and we want to graph this on a number line, we also use an open circle, just like the less than symbol. Now let's talk about less than or equal to. X is less than or equal to 2. This is going to be the less than or equal to symbol. Notice that x can be less than 2, or it could actually be equal to 2. So this is two different situations in one. Notice that the less than symbol has a straight line under it. That gives it that equal to. Whenever you graph these on a number line, you're going to use a closed dot. A closed dot or a closed circle. And then the last symbol we're going to talk about is greater than or equal to. So x is greater than or equal to -1. So this is going to be the greater than or equal to symbol. Notice for this situation, x can be greater than -1 or x can be equal to -1. So you also have that situation where you can have x being equal to a number. When you have greater than or equal to, and you're graphing this on a number line, you're going to use a closed dot, just like the less than or equal to. Okay, so let's go ahead and try one. The first one we're going to do is x minus 2 is greater than 5. So for one-step inequalities, you only have to do one step to both sides. And to get x by itself, I need to get rid of this -2. So I'm going to do the opposite to both sides. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So when I do that, the -2 and the +2 are going to cancel out. So I can cross through the -2 and the +2. And now I can bring down the x. I'm going to keep the inequality symbol the same. Since I have a greater than symbol, I'm going to keep it as greater than. On the other side, I have 5 plus 2, and that's going to give me 7. So my answer is going to be x is greater than 7. If I want to write a solution set for this, then I can only consider numbers that are greater than 7. So expressed as a solution set, we're going to write x and then a vertical line, and x is greater than 7. We'll put the answer on the right side of this vertical line. And what this means is we're considering all the real numbers x such that x is greater than 7. So now we're going to graph our solution on a number line. So now we're going to graph x is greater than 7. Only real numbers can show up on the real number line. The capital R at the bottom stands for all real numbers. And what we're going to do is we're going to put 7 in the middle. And then numbers that are smaller than 7 can go to the left side, and numbers that are bigger than 7 can go to its right side. Now, do we need to put an open circle or a closed dot on 7? Well, since we're dealing with a greater than symbol, we're going to be using an open circle. So I'm going to put an open circle over 7. And then which way do I shade? To the left or to the right? Well, since we have a greater than symbol, I need to shade numbers that are greater than 7. But you can also look at the inequality symbol and see that it's pointing to the right. So I'm going to shade to the right. Every single number that's greater than 7. And I'm going to shade the arrow in this direction of the number line. Let's try the second one. X plus 3 is less than or equal to 4. For this one, I need to get rid of the plus 3. So I'm going to do the opposite to both sides. I'm going to subtract 3. What that's going to do is it's going to cancel out the -3 and the +3 on the left side. So I can cross those out. And then I can bring down the variable x. Over here, I keep the inequality sign the same. I have a less than or equal to, so I'm going to keep it as that. And then 4 minus 3 is going to give me 1. So my answer is going to be x is less than or equal to 1. That means I can only consider numbers that are less than 1 or equal to 1. For our solution set, we're going to place the x on the inside. We're going to draw our vertical line. And we're going to say x must be less than or equal to 1. And that's my solution set. The next thing that I want to do is I want to graph this solution on the real number line. Since we got a +1 in our answer, I'm going to let the middle number be +1. And then numbers that are less than 1 can go on the left side of it, like 0 or -1. Numbers that are bigger than 1 have to go to the right of 1. So numbers like 2 and 3. Since we have a less than or equal to symbol, I can go back and see what kind of circle it needs. It needs a closed dot. Whether I have a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, the answer is the same. I need a closed dot. So I'm going to put a closed dot on 1. And then which way do I shade? To the left or to the right? Since it's less than 1, I need to shade to the left. Another way you can think about it is the inequality sign is facing the left. It's pointing left. So that means I need to shade left. All right, let's try 2 more. I have x divided by 2 is greater than 3. For this one, I need to get x by itself. So I need to get rid of this 2 that's in the denominator. I can multiply by 2 on both sides. So what that's going to do is it's going to cause the 2's on the left side to cancel out because there's one at the bottom and there's one at the top. And then x is going to be by itself on the left side. On the other side, I'm going to have 3 times 2, and that's going to give me 6. So x is greater than 6. When I draw my solution set, I want to have the variable x, so all real numbers x, such that, that's my vertical line, x is greater than 6. And then I close up the solution set. When I graph it on a number line, I want to make sure that I put 6 in the middle, and then I can put 5 and maybe 4 on the other side. 7 and 8 can go on this side. So now, since I want to graph x is greater than 6, I go back to see what I need to graph it as. Since it's a greater than symbol, I'm going to use the open circle. So the open circle is going to be on 6. Which way do I shade, the left or the right? Since it's greater than 6, that means that I need to include numbers that are bigger than 6, like 7 and 8. That means I need to shade to the right. Another way you can think about it is, which way is this inequality pointing? It's pointing to the right. Okay, so here's the last one we're going to do. Negative 2x is less than negative 8. So for this one, I want to get x by itself on the left side. So I need to get rid of this negative 2 right here. Since it's being multiplied by x, I can divide both sides by negative 2. So when I do that, the negative 2 and the negative 2 on the left side are going to cancel out. They basically divide each other to give me 1, so they're not needed. I can bring down my variable x. And then on the other side, I have negative 8 divided by negative 2, and that's going to give me a positive 4. Now, whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, let's say you multiply or divide by a negative number, then you need to flip the inequality symbol. You're going to flip the inequality only if you multiply or divide by a negative. So we need to flip this less than into a greater than symbol. So all we do is we take the symbol and we flip it over horizontally. So now that my answer is x is greater than 4, I'm only going to consider numbers that are bigger than 4. My solution set is going to be all x real numbers, such that that real number x is greater than 4. So now I can draw my number line. I'm going to put 4 in the middle, and then a 3, and then a 5. Since it's greater than 4, I have to do an open circle on 4. And then which way do I shade? I shade in the direction that the inequality is pointing, to the right. So I'm going to shade to the right.